If you ever found yourself talking yourself out of what you truly want, this is for you. This video isn't just about goals, it's about reclaiming your voice, your desires, your permission to want more out of life without asking for permission. Hi, my name is Martin, and I'm here to share with you openly, without holding back, really authentically and unapologetically about my learnings from life, my experiences. And I have that hope to inspire you to really take charge of your own life, to step into the driver's seat of your life, and to live it with purpose and fulfillment. And today's topic really, it came out of a conversation I had today. I was talking to my coach, and I asked him, I asked him for permission to quit creating those videos that I'm recording right now. And the reason why is it's actually very, very weird. So I've been doing this for a few weeks now, and I'm usually very hard on myself. I'm quite impatient when it comes to progress. And the thing is, I talked to my coach today and I said, I've been doing this for like every day. Is it okay to like skip a day? And even when I said it out loud, there was something in my head that was like, what is that about? Because he asked me like, do you like it? And I was like, I love it. I love talking. I love creating content. I love to inspire people. I love sharing about what I've learned. And in that moment, I was like, it's so incredibly ridiculous that I would stop doing something that I love, that I'm talking myself out of it. And not only that, but I'm asking for permission, someone else's permission, to quit on something that I love. And now you might think like, why would you do that? Exactly, that's the point. The thing is, I've come across so many people, maybe you are one of them. If so, share in the comment. Because once you share, we can support each other. We can really help each other to stop setting ourselves up. When I realized that today, first of all, I was like, great, I have a topic now for today's video. And then I was like, I asked myself that question, like, why would I do that? Why would I talk myself out of it? And especially asking someone else's permission to abandon myself. Because that's what it actually is. I was abandoning myself. I thought I needed someone else to give me an answer. That the answer is on the outside of me. And that really, like what I realized in that moment was it all came down to self-worth. I was doubting that the content I'm creating has any kind of worth. I thought, well, if a couple people might watch it, me included, but it's like, is that enough? I want more. So like negative things came up, like impatience, to a certain degree, maybe like greed, where I'm like, I want more than what I have, not being okay with what it is right now. And I'm like, I'm talking about acceptance, like accepting the things that we experience in this moment. I'm talking about patience. I'm talking about like go after your goals. And then I'm talking to my coach and I'm asking him that I can throw all that out of the window and give up. I literally, yesterday, I recorded a video about giving up and why giving up is usually coming from like something negative. And today I found myself in that situation. But as you can see, here I am recording this video. Not because my coach told me so, not because he pushed me to do it, but because I made that decision based on the awareness I created in the moment when I was talking to him. Because what he actually said is, if I feel that it's too much for me, I can, look at myself and say, do I want to take a break for like a day to not create a video? Like from a neutral kind of perspective, not from like an emotional response or from a lack of self-doubt or any of that. But if that's really something I'm aligned with, that I schedule a day where I'm not recording it. But in that moment, I was like, you know what? I know my answer, and my answer right now is I want to record this video. And as small as it might seem, that was like a huge breakthrough moment for me, because I told him, I don't need that permission. I am going to create it. I knew it was about self-doubt. But then I reconnected to myself and I said, listen, I have thousands of hours of coaching experience at this point. And I'm not exaggerating. I have thousands of hours having people one-on-one and in group format that I've guided through their transformation. I know by now the worth I have as a coach, as a human being. There's absolutely no reason for myself to stop. But you might have a similar experience in your life where all that logic, it doesn't make sense. Like the logic is there, but somehow there's a voice within you that is trying to convince you otherwise, where it tries to talk you out of it. That is like self-abandonment. It's giving up your own power that you have, the voice that you have, diminishing your own light. I am absolutely convinced, if you are watching this video, that this is the opposite of what you want. You want to shine, you want to explore, you want to go out in this world and make it something meaningful, filled with purpose and fulfillment. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't commit yourself to figuring out answers to the questions that you have. And that's one thing that I'm learning as well, is to trust that, for example, this video is going to find the right people, those who need to hear this message. And I made it my purpose to share openly and authentically. And that's why I'm here today, sharing an experience that is a very, very real life kind of thing. It happened not even 2 hours ago. It was like 6:20 p.m. Berlin time. And I'm like, if I stop, I would betray myself. I would give up on something that means so much to me. And I've done that in the past as well. I've given up certain dreams, certain goals that I had. I didn't fully commit. I asked other people for their opinion. And I'm not judging myself for it, because through those experiences, I learned. I'm growing every time I'm going through a difficult time, or every time I'm manipulating myself. Every time I become aware of self-abandonment and stuff like that, I got to a point now where I can reflect on it without being hard on myself, but really reflect on it and say, is that really the person and the version of myself that I want to be? And in this case, it was an absolute no. The version I know that I want to be, that I'm growing into, where I'm taking action right now to not just become that version of myself in the future, but embodying it in this very moment, is someone who shares his heart and soul with the world, who is putting himself out there without holding back, without kind of like talking something like beautifully or whatever, however you say that, like to make something look better than it is. Like I'm talking here unfiltered. Like I don't hold back. I'm really sharing, like when there's been a lot of things lately in my life that have been happening, like the breakup in the beginning of the year, the emotional ups and downs I've experienced since, the trauma that like came to the surface. Like I'm sharing all that. And one of the things that I've really struggled with, there's two things: self-worth and self-abandonment. It's very interesting now that I'm saying it out loud. Both are connected to self. So through the work I've been doing on like my healing journey, on growing and learning about myself, here it is again, the word self. Through that, I really started to connect more to who I am. And everything is about the self. Who do I think I am compared to who do I want to be? How do I want to, or who do I want to become? How can I embody that in that very moment? And one of the things that is so crucial when it comes to that is stop giving your power away. Stop asking for permission. There's like this quote: it's better to ask for an apology than for permission. It's better to say like, hey, I'm sorry, but I did it anyways, because it's more likely people will forgive you for doing something that they think you shouldn't have done, compared to asking them for permission and then getting their okay. Now, I know not in all situations that's the way you should go about it, but very often we asking for permission where we don't need it because we are not secure in ourselves. We're doubting our own power of making decisions. But that giving power away is sometimes a way of like projected safety, where we think it's safer if someone else makes that decision. Why? Because we would have to take accountability if we did something and it didn't work out. Because then we can not blame another person. But blaming is so easy. If someone is like, oh yeah, go ahead, do it, and then I do it and I fail, I can say, well, you told me to do it. Like, if it was up to me, I would have not done it. I would have stopped. But that is giving someone else your full power instead of acknowledging it, recognizing it, and taking accountability for your own actions. And the thing is, you will never figure out if your dreams and desires and goals can become reality if you don't go for it. If you just talk about it, ask for permission, and then decide not to do it, you're giving yourself the no. Because you can only make something happen. You can only have the chance of fulfilling your biggest dreams and desires if you make the decision to go for it. But if you stop before you even started, when you stop just right after you did start, you haven't yet built momentum for it to grow, but then you kind of stop and let it die before it could grow into something. It's kind of like with a flower. If you put the seed into the soil and then you're like, okay, it's not growing, I'm going to throw it out after like a day or so. Sometimes it takes more than just like 1 or 2 days. It takes weeks for it to grow and become something that is more than what you saw in the beginning, where it's just like not existing at all. It's like that little thing in the soil. You don't see it because it's covered with more soil. You have to be patient. You have to water it, nourish it. And then over time it grows into like a flower or whatever it is that you're growing. If you pull at it, a flower is not gonna grow faster. If you pull at it, it will die. And the thing is, the same with our dreams, our goals, etc. If we pull it, if we push it, if we don't have that kind of patience, then you will die, you will kill it. It will die before it can grow into something. So I encourage you to stop abandoning yourself, to stop asking other people for permission, where the only person you need to ask permission for is yourself. Because it's your life, it's your dreams, it's your goals, your desires. It's about you in your life. So stop asking for permission and go for it. Make it a reality. Take that first step. Take that leap of faith. Because even if you fail at the end, you will have learned so much about yourself, about life. And you will look back in a few years from now and you can say, at least I gave it my best. I didn't let anyone talk me out of it. And if in case it failed, well, at least you did so on your terms and because you went for it. And through that, you can learn so much that you can build on that. And then the next thing you do is going to be successful. And sometimes it takes a few times, a few businesses, a few jobs, a few relationships until you get to the point where it works out. But the only way for you to fail is if you quit. If you ask other people for permission, if you ask other people if you should or shouldn't do something, stop it. Stop it and follow your own intuition. You know the answer. Nobody has to tell you. You know deep down within yourself what the right answer is. So stop outsourcing your decision making. This is your decision. It is your life. And you deserve to be there and show up for yourself. All right, thank you for tuning in. If you like this, please share and comment and like this video. Follow me as well. I would love to see you again in another video. And until then, lots of love and a big, big hug.